All right, today we're going to break down two really simple but super powerful ideas that basically run the entire internet's traffic flow. We're talking about the leaky bucket and the token bucket. Let's get right into it.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're trying to snag a deal during a huge sale, or you're in a super important video call, and then, boom, everything just freezes. So what's going on? Well, a lot of the time, it's basically just a digital traffic jam. And that's really the heart of the issue here. Think of it like a digital crowd. When way too many requests try to cram into a system all at once, things can go from orderly to pure chaos in, like, a split second.
So if you don't have something managing that flow, it becomes a massive problem. You get these sudden spikes in activity that can totally overwhelm and even crash servers. And that makes the whole flow of data just unpredictable. For you and me, that translates to that dreaded buffering symbol, frustrating lag, and just an awful user experience. We clearly need a system, some kind of traffic cop, to bring order to all this chaos.
Okay, so let's check out our first solution. Say hello to the leaky bucket algorithm. It's a beautifully simple way to force a steady, predictable rhythm onto all that crazy internet traffic.
The name really says it all. Just picture a bucket, but it's got a tiny little hole in the bottom. Now, you can dump a whole flood of water, or data requests, into it all at once, but it's only ever going to drip out at a slow, constant rate. Anything extra? It just overflows and gets lost. That's the leaky bucket in a nutshell. It doesn't care how messy the input is, the output is always going to be constant and steady. You know a perfect real-world example of this? A subway turnstile. People, or in our case, data packets, show up whenever they want, often in big, unpredictable groups. But that turnstile, it only lets one person through at a time, creating this perfectly fixed, steady flow. If a massive crowd suddenly appears, well, they're either going to have to form a line or they just can't get in. The end result is that the flow onto the platform is always orderly, even if the arrival was total chaos.
But here's the thing. What if a slow, steady flow isn't always the best thing? What if you want a burst sometimes? Well, that brings us to a totally different way of thinking about this problem, the token bucket algorithm.
Okay, so for this one, picture a cinema. Every minute, it generates a few entry tokens. These are basically permissions to enter. If nobody shows up, those tokens just start piling up in a bucket. But then, let's say a huge tour bus pulls up. That big group can use all those saved up tokens to get in all at once. See the difference? The key here is saving up permission to handle a big burst when you really need to.
This is exactly why your Netflix or YouTube video starts playing almost instantly. The streaming service is constantly adding these data tokens to your buffer. The second you hit play, you're requesting a huge chunk of video data. So what does it do? It uses a whole bunch of those saved up tokens to send you a massive burst of data right away. That's how you get started without staring at that dreaded buffering wheel. It's all about allowing a burst when it actually makes for a better experience.
All right, so we've got our two contenders. One is all about steadiness and predictability. The other is all about flexibility and allowing for big bursts. Let's put them head-to-head and see how they really stack up.
Really, the single biggest difference comes down to one thing: the output. The leaky bucket's output is always a smooth, constant stream. It takes any bursty input and just irons it out flat. The token bucket, on the other hand, is designed to save up its capacity specifically to allow for a bursty output. It's the ultimate showdown: steadiness versus flexibility.
I love this quote because it just nails the whole idea of the leaky bucket. It's like this unshakable gatekeeper. You can have a hurricane of data trying to get in, but it doesn't care. The flow coming out the other side will always be calm and predictable.
And then you have the token bucket, which is the total opposite. It's not a gatekeeper, it's a strategist. It's not trying to smooth everything out, nope. It's all about being prepared. It's saving up its resources so it can unleash a powerful strategic burst right when it's needed the most. This chart really lays it all out. You see the output rate, constant for leaky, variable for token. And that changes everything about how they handle bursts. Leaky bucket just drops anything extra. Token bucket actually stores tokens specifically for those bursts. And that's why their use cases are so different. Use Leaky Bucket for things that absolutely need stability, like a voice over IP call. But for video streaming or controlling API limits, where a burst is actually a good thing, that's a job for the token bucket.
Okay, so this all leads to the million-dollar question, right? Which one is better? And the answer is, it depends. It's all about choosing the right tool, the right kind of flow for the specific job you're trying to do.
And here's the rule of thumb. If what you need, above all else, is predictability, think of a voice call where a choppy stream is a disaster, then you go with the leaky bucket. But if what you need is flexibility, where a quick, powerful burst of data is actually helpful, like loading a website in a snap, then the token bucket is your best friend.
So if the leaky bucket had a mantra, it would be super simple. Predictable is best. End of story.
And the token bucket's mantra? It's all about adaptability. For it, flexibility is key. It's built to respond to whatever you throw at it.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, these aren't just some abstract computer science ideas. They're the invisible forces shaping your digital life, every single day. So, the next time your video stream fires up instantly without any buffering, you can ask yourself which algorithm is tipping its bucket for you. Now you'll know the answer.